Levine of First Central State Bank. How's it going, Scott?
That's good.
Sun's out. Looks like it's going to be a nice day.
That's right. Yeah, very happy that it is nice out there.
That is good. Do you like Fridays?
I do. That's right. Who doesn't like Friday?
What is different for you on Fridays with your marketing position at First Central State Bank?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more relaxed atmosphere usually at the bank on Fridays, and kind of getting to that end of the work week and just kind of seeing what everybody else has going on for the weekend. For marketing, sometimes we do have some volunteer things and events happening on the weekends, or people volunteering at different places. So part of the thing that I do is kind of see what they're doing and hopefully try to highlight that for everybody, whether on social media or different platforms that we have, to let people know that we're out and about in the community.
You get to kind of travel around a little bit to the various locations, don't you? What's that like? I mean, you get to meet everybody.
That's right. Yeah. So it is a nice a gig that I have that I'm able to get to, all the different locations, because we just actually had this conversation today at the Lincoln Way branch in Clinton. I was there today, and not everybody gets to see everybody very often, just because we're spread out so much between LeClaire and Eldridge and Clinton and Goose Lake and DeWitt, that I do get to have that ability that I can go to different branches and see everybody, and I think that's a nice perk to my job.
So are you the marketing guy for all of these?
So I'm the marketing guy for First Central, so all those locations for First Central State Bank I am.
Oh my gosh.
And then I do help, so Onward Bank Shares is obviously Eastern Iowa, so that's Makokata State Bank and Onward Bank and Trust as well. And then some ancillary businesses too. So I do help. They have their own marketing team and group at Makokata State Bank and Onward Bank and Trust, but we meet together once every 2 weeks just to kind of go over things in our markets and how we want to present the bank's marketing and the Onward Bank Shares marketing plan to our communities.
You got a lot of responsibilities.
A little bit, yeah. I enjoy that.
Goodness.
I like to stay busy.
You don't think they're spreading you too thin, do you, Scott?
No. I don't think so.
You're able to handle all that?
So far.
So far, so good. So what is a typical week for you? I mean, are Mondays you're here, Tuesdays you're there, or does it differ?
Yeah, so a lot of times I split my time between Clinton and DeWitt. DeWitt's kind of our headquarters, where we have a different departments are stationed in that area. So I kind of go from there, but then I can also get around to the different locations. When need be, I try to get there, a few times a month, if possible, to the different locations. The big thing that I want to know is what's going on in their market. The Clinton market is different than the Eldridge market, and the LeClaire market is different than the DeWitt market. The Goose Lake market is definitely different than a lot of different markets. So I want to know what's going on with them and how I can help them get their message out there to their communities.
I would think so. I mean, like the Eldridge market, I mean, you got your North Scott people there, and then LeClaire, is that still North Scott or is that PV?
So it's North Scott and PV. They kind of have both depending on where people live in the Clare. I think it's mostly PV, but you can be in the North Scott district from there. And, they pull a lot from the Quad City markets, so we're, very active in the Quad Cities. Davenport, we don't have an actual physical location in Davenport, but, we surround it with Eldridge and LeClaire. So we're very active there, and it's a different group of people that live in that area compared to some other locations. So we still have our same message that we try to get along and get out there to the public, but each one is kind of tailored to those different audiences.
Now when you say to be active in like the Quad City area, what are you talking about? I mean, you're parades, what do you do?
So we every once in a while we'll volunteer in Davenport, but a lot of it is still building relationships with those community members. So we really focus on relationship building with our team, and that can mean businesses and commercial real estate and those kinds of things. So we really focus on all this kind of Eastern Iowa area, still building relationships. Even if we don't have a physical location in that town, it doesn't mean that we still can't have our lenders out there, our customer service reps out there, building those relationships and bringing them to the bank.
Of course, your background was newspaper, and now the transition, and it's been a while since you've gotten into the marketing end of it. Were there
So, was
similarities
Maharishi
between what you did
University
as a
still there when you
newspaper
were
writer as
young?
opposed to
Yep,
what
on
you're
the north
doing
side
now?
of the tracks, yep.
Yeah, so there
What
still
was
is a lot of
what was-
writing
what was the talk
that's
in
done
town
from the
about
marketing
that?
standpoint.
They were
I
their
always
kind of their
thought of
own
myself in the
world.
newspaper
It was
business as
kind
you
of
still are in the marketing profession because you're trying to market to everybody else to try to sell your newspaper. So we were just doing it a different way of writing news stories or opinion columns or feature stories. So you're still trying to market to a different section of the population. So I think there was a lot of that that came about. I also was always involved in the community when I was with the newspaper, and that's continued with the bank. That the bank is very, very strong in their position that they want their team helping their communities out, whether that's through donations, volunteering, whatever possible. They want their team members out there helping their communities.
And it seems to me, in your community help, it's really kind of centered around the schools. I mean, a lot of things dependent upon what you guys do for the schools.
It is. So that's kind of our bread and butter when it comes to whether volunteering or donations. That we really do focus on our local schools. We think that local schools will help kind of shape the future of those communities. And a good community and a good future community is someplace that the bank wants to be in. It's good for us as well. It's good for the community. So we really pour into our schools. And if they need some help, then usually they can reach out to us, and we'll do what we can to help them.
When you were writing at the Herald, I always enjoyed reading your articles, catching up on how the family was growing, the various things that were going on in your life. Do you miss that?
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, every once in a while, I miss it. I don't necessarily miss the hours that the newspaper business required, but I miss the people that I worked with at times, and miss the writing aspect too. But I've been able to enjoy being at the bank for a number of years now. I think we're on year 7. So so really enjoy the First Central family, basically is what we call it, that I've been able to go into.
Yeah, Tubbs family.
Right, exactly.
It is a family.
It is an actual family, that's right.
It is a family, no doubt about that. Do your children ever look back at some of the articles that you wrote and said, Dad, you wrote that about us?
They haven't yet. They're still pretty young. My daughter's in high school now, but she hasn't really found it on Google or anything like that. And we don't have them just out about in our house. So I'm sure I was thinking about it actually the other day, kind of driving I wonder if, should share some of those, especially with my older daughter, Phoebe, because I wrote a lot about her when she was younger, and just to kind of go back and look those over and see what life was like.
So when you came to the Herald, how many children did you have then?
I had 0. So
No, you had no children at that
here.
time.
That's
Okay.
right. Just recently married in 2008 to my wife Christina. So
Okay.
And then that's when we moved out here in 2008.
Okay. Do you still have those articles?
They are somewhere, probably. Hopefully, most of them are online. I would assume. So a lot of the ones
Not in
later.
a scrapbook?
I know a lot of them later. I probably did not do a very good job at keeping those.
Oh, come on now.
I know.
You got to save stuff like that.
I know. I'm not very good at that. So I'm sure my wife could attest to that.
So what do you enjoy about this work now?
So I enjoy the people who I work with. The Tubbs family and the Fagerlund family. They're the ones who started Onward Bankshares. So enjoy working in that environment. It truly is a family environment, and they really promote giving back to the community, and they don't just talk about it. From ownership on down to all the employees, that's kind of an expectation that we have, that we're going to pour into our communities and make it a better place to live, work, and play. And I've always enjoyed that. When I was a kid, my grandfather was very involved in pretty much everything. He was a big volunteer everywhere. I was a former high school principal, so he was very involved. So I kind of grew up thinking of him all the time, and that's what I wanted to do. And so very fortunate to have the position that I have, that I'm able to give back to my community and help in any way I can.
Did you ever think of getting into education?
I did. I was in high school, probably thought about education. I wanted to coach and teach, but then changed that mindset a little over time.
Coming up, we'll have a check of the weather. We're going to talk more with Scott Levine on Men's Day. During the President's Day sales event at Circle Bar Home Appliances, savings you can salute. Look over their selection of wash towers, their Speed Queen line, and at Circle Bar's LG TVs in sizes from 43 to 77 inches. Circle Bar's invites you to see the selection they offer: Maytag, Z-Line, Bosch, Whirlpool, Amana, Electrolux, Frigidaire, and KitchenAid. The best appliance selection, prices, and service are available now at Circle Bar Home Appliances, 225 Fifth Avenue South, Clinton. 12 months, no interest. See store for details. And you can always visit circlebars.com.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Billion Auto.
A weather impact alert continues for this morning. Dense fog and some heavy downpours will be likely. Then drying out for the afternoon and skies clearing. We'll see highs in the mid-40s today. For tonight, skies go mostly clear again and lows will drop to the chilly mid-20s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have sunny skies and a temperature of 43 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Billion Auto.
So, you need a new vehicle. What's the best vehicle for you? Where do you get financing? What's your trade worth? Answer all these questions and more at BillionAuto.com. You can compare 16 new car brands and thousands of used vehicles, all in the palm of your hand at BillionAuto.com. Plus, estimate the trade value of your vehicle in 2 easy steps. It's car buying made easy. Apply for credit pre-approval at BillionAuto.com. All applications accepted, not all approved.
Scott Levine, First Central State Bank. You guys do so much for the community, and one of the things is grilling for charity. And $20,000 raised last year. Remarkable flipping burgers.
Yeah, it was a great year for Grilling for Charity. We just released the total raise that we did. So we do Grilling for Charity. So it's in Clinton, DeWitt, Eldridge, and Goose Lake at those locations. So we usually do those in late August to September. So they're always a fun time that we have as a team to do that. And then also get a pair with some nonprofits. We try to pick a new one each year at those locations and try to help them out the best that we can and raise some money, but then also shine a light on some of those nonprofits as well. For the community, and it's kind of become an expectation now. In Clinton, they have a well-oiled machine here where they do all the deliveries for a lot of the manufacturing companies here, and so we're very, very fortunate and grateful that those companies want to order and help us get to those totals.
So how do you pick what the charity is going to be?
Yeah, so we meet as a team at each location to kind of figure out which locate charity that we think that would be best served by this. And anybody can call or email and let us know if they think that they could benefit from that. If they think an organization that they like, that if they wanted us to do that, they can always let us know too. And so each year we get together probably in the spring to summer months and figure that out and then hopefully have a good event. We always want to avoid rain, and so that we can raise as much money as possible.
I would imagine you got charities just clamoring, just reaching out, saying, "My goodness, can you help us?"
Right, we do. We have quite a few that reach out. So that's a difficult part of the job. We just have one per town, so it is difficult. But hopefully, eventually, if we don't get to them that year, we'll eventually get to them in the future years.
Now, you talked about Clinton being a well-oiled machine. So what about some of the other locations? Can they learn from Clinton?
Well, it's funny because it's different. The events are very different in the different towns that you have. Where Clinton and Eldridge are more of they do a lot of deliveries to a lot of big companies, and DeWitt doesn't have those kind of big companies. So a lot of it is people come to the bank and they eat and they enjoy being outside, and you don't really have that as much at the Eldridge and Clinton locations. And then Goose Lake, we do it on homecoming every year. Ooh. And so that's always fun. So they bring busloads of the football players and the volleyball team, and they come and eat and enjoy the afternoon for eating and grilling for charity.
So when's the first one going to be? Any idea?
So we'll do late August. We haven't. We actually just talked about that today,
okay.
But we haven't picked a date yet. Clinton usually leads us off, but that's usually late August.
Okay, and I did tell you, make sure and give us a call and let us know what the charity is going to be, and we'll try and drum up even a little bit more money for you.
Sounds great.
So the $20,000 is, how is that divided up? I mean, evenly between each community, or is it based on what they do?
So each location, it's based on what they do. Okay. So with Eldridge and Clinton, those are usually our two biggest ones. I think Eldridge was close to, I think it was $8,000 that they raised alone just in Eldridge. So, and I think Clinton was close to $6,000 to $7,000. So those communities do a lot. Now they have bigger businesses, so they get a lot of that. But it requires a huge team effort. I know in Clinton, especially Karamar she's got this down pat on how to do everything. So it's a big project and ordeal. that week leading up of making sure we have enough food and that we have all the deliveries ready to go on that day.
And I would imagine, I mean, you probably have a set price amount. But other people get, I mean, if they want, they can give more.
They can. So we just ask for free will donations.
Oh,
so,
okay, you do. Okay.
Yep. So whatever anybody wants to give us, they can. And obviously some people are going to give more and some people will give less. But we'll just take anything that we can get, and we just appreciate everybody coming out and supporting those.
And I think it's such a fun event too. I mean, you get to wear jeans and a T-shirt and grill.
That's right. Exactly. It is always fun, and it's fun to be around the team and work really hard during that time. But it's a fun event.
And you get to go to every one.
That's right, exactly. I get to eat and enjoy, hopefully, sunshine during every single one of them.
That is great. We got more to talk about. We're going to talk about sports, but your children always pick out your songs.
They do.
Which is great. Which is great. So what do we got this year?
This year, the boys are very into a song called Ain't No Love in Oklahoma.
What's going on?
Yeah, so I still do coaching. So I've done Little Kings football we did in the fall. We coached. And then I do Little Kings boys basketball right now. So Little Kings basketball tournament is this weekend in Clinton.
Oh, okay.
And then we also have Little Queens basketball. So it's something my wife and I pretty much started a while ago. And so the tournament is on Saturday. So we'll be busy with that. And Christina's still the director of Little Queens. So getting all the teams organized and the concession stand and the gyms ready takes quite a bit of work. So we'll be very busy this weekend, but welcoming over, I think Saturday we're going to have over 40 teams. And I think Sunday we'll probably have a similar amount of teams that are entered in these two different tournaments. So
it's two different tournaments, Little Kings, Little Queens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Kings on Saturday?
Kings on Sunday and Queens on Saturday.
On Saturday, okay. You're at Clinton High, Lions.
So we're at Clinton High. We'll do 3 gyms. So actually they didn't do the lines, Chris. We have to tape lines tonight after the girls varsity game in Yord. So we'll have 2 gyms in Yord. We'll be at the wellness gym also at the high school, and then we'll also be at the middle school. So we'll do 2 gyms at the middle school.
Yeah, it's not Lions, is it?
Yeah.
It's Clinton.
They won't let us in that gym.
It's Clinton Middle School. It's not Lions. Goodness. That's an old North Ender coming on me out right there.
Right.
So that's great. I mean, community's involvement. That's outstanding.
Yeah, so it's always a fun turn. It's a lot of work, but it's a fun way to just kind of showcase what Clinton has. Our facilities are some of the best in the MAC and the best in Eastern Iowa, really, between the middle school and the high school. So it's nice to show those off to people who maybe don't have kids yet in high school. They're kind of in the youth basketball game. So it's nice to do that. I know last weekend they had the Looters tournament, and then they also had a Clinton Junior Wrestling tournament on Sunday. They brought that back for the first time in a long time. So it's been a very busy last couple weekends for the town, but a good opportunity to showcase what we have to offer to everybody.
Your oldest now a freshman. She's seeing some floor time for the girls varsity. Kathy Marks now in her 6th year. I know she appreciates what you folks have done. She had that quote in the paper, we're trying to turn this cruise ship around, and it takes a while to turn a cruise ship. But maybe he's starting to make that turn, don't you think?
Right, yeah. I think that we've been waiting for this group to get up there to high school, and it seems like it's taken a long time. We've been doing this since my daughter was in 3rd grade, so it seems like a long time, but then it's also short too. You can't believe that it's already here. So the girls are, they're playing hard and hopefully continue to stay together. And they have no seniors on the team, so full expectation to continue to get better this year and better years ahead coming up. They're still in the program. We have 70 girls from 3rd to 8th grade, so we're expecting them to continue to come to high school. And the best thing is girls basketball in Iowa has some major problems with participation levels, but in Clinton we're actually going the opposite direction. Our participation levels are going to be going up over the next few years, while several high schools in the state of Iowa are going down. So it's a great thing to happen in Clinton.
That is a great thing to happen. Closing out with Brandon and Dave, they were talking about that 7-on-7 spring football. That looks like that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's definitely a different brand of football, but kids, especially nowadays, they really enjoy that. It's a fast football. Both my kids play. One of my oldest son's a quarterback, so he actually really enjoys the 7v7 game. So, but it's something to stay involved in and get the kids here in Clinton hopefully more involved in that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to run around. He just gets to chuck the ball around to his friends out there.
Exactly what he wants to do.
That is great. So, do you design plays for that?
Yeah, so you can design plays, and we've actually done a 7v7 league here the last couple of years through the Little Kings organization in the spring. So it's about a 4-week 7v7 where we get local kids. So we've had 4 teams of 3rd and 4th grade and 4 teams of 5th and 6th grade. And we work with Coach Herrig, and he gives us a playbook that the Clinton High group would want us to do. And so we kind of go through that, and we go, well, might work better for high schoolers to do that. We may have to dumb it down a little bit for some of these kids. But he's been great with that, of working with us, and we've been doing that the last couple of years. We're actually going to be doing that again here in the spring. We play at the old Ashford complex over there on 14th.
Yeah, that is a great complex, no doubt about that. And then, that soccer complex out there, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's like I said, the facilities here in town are great. So that soccer complex, the old Ashford complex, all these things are very nice. You just got to get people here to showcase those to them.
We got a couple minutes left in the program. Thanks so much for coming in. Always enjoy visiting with you. Ryan Veenster was in earlier, and we were talking about the bond referendum. It passed nearly 80%. That was his goal. Didn't quite get it. But what a great thing when that's all completed.
Yeah, so that's going to be fantastic. Obviously my daughter being a freshman in high school, hopefully she'll see it completed by the time she graduates. But just being there and the academic wing right now is second to none. It's a fantastic wing right now, and I'm sure the theater is going to be great. And you add that on to the football field and yard and everything. It's just it's a great opportunity for people to see some great facilities and get great education here in Clinton High School.
That is awesome. So, hey, good luck tonight at the Your Gym. You're telling me Allie's a little bit under the weather, so that's unfortunate. But
yeah, there'll be several girls that I think are not playing tonight, unfortunately.
Thank you so much.
Get your home, car, or winter adventures ready with a loan from First Central State Bank. If you're looking to renovate your home for the colder months, buy a new truck to handle snowy roads, or finance a snowmobile for a fun-filled winter, we've got you covered. Our flexible loan options come with low rates and fast approvals, so you can enjoy the season without financial stress. No matter your winter plans, we'll help make them happen. Prepare for winter the smart